It is time to finally build that God Squad. Stay frosty and head to buymaddencoins.com for the cheapest, fastest, and most reliable MUT coins on the market. I'll even help you shave off a few bucks. Use code DIRECTOR at checkout for 20% off. Yo, brothers, what's up? It's the Director. We're sporting the LT anniversary jersey today for a special occasion, taking kind of a first look, my first kind of thought on the Chargers in Madden 21. So I put together some card art. You guys know I love me some card art in Madden Ultimate Team. To be clear, this is an official launch. This is not an official thing by EA. I photoshopped this kind of looking forward into the future, what I think the Chargers may look like in Madden 21 Ultimate Team. So in this video, I'm going to be going over all of the elites that I think the Chargers may be getting. Should be a good time. I may even throw a gold or two in there as well. If you guys like these kinds of videos, hit us up with a like and sub. The small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, bell notification helps me out a lot. Let's get into this video. Alright, so you guys saw first sneak peek preview. Austin Ekeler, I think his last card in Madden 19 or Madden 20 was a 78 overall. And after his performance last year, winning so many people their fantasy championships, I think it's more than appropriate that we give Austin Ekeler a shot at a elite card in Madden 21, which I think would look pretty bomb, man. Austin Ekeler, one of the faster halfbacks in the game Madden Ultimate Team. They had him as an elusive back in Madden 20. I decided, just kind of based on his play last year, the kind of style that the Chargers used him in, as far as an archetype in at halfback, I thought that receiving back may be more appropriate than elusive back. I don't know, maybe they keep him at elusive back, you never know, but it seems to fit his in real life archetype just a little bit better. So the stats I've gotten Austin Ekeler, and just be forewarned guys, this is a projection of the very first cards in the game Madden Ultimate Team for Madden 21. So if the stats look poo-poo, it's because it's the beginning of the game, and this is normally where they are. I went back and did some research, what these items had at the beginning of Madden 20, kind of adjusted in my own way and in my own thought process of what I think they're going to look like at the beginning of Madden 21. So keep that in mind as we go through every single card. Austin Ekeler, 5'10", 84 speed. 84 is across the board between speed, acceleration, and agility. The carrying at 76 isn't bad. 70 catching on a halfback is actually pretty dang good. So keep that in mind looking at his archetype of receiving back. Elusiveness is pretty good, and then break tackle at 78 is really good for the phase in Madden that we would be in at the beginning. All right, let's take a look at our next card here. They're in no particular order of the Chargers elites I have on here. Next one being Brian Bulaga. Now Brian Bulaga, 81 overall right tackle. The Chargers teamers, you guys are not used to having elite offensive linemen on the team, but this year is probably going to be the exception with at least two, a bit of a spoiler alert, that I think we'll have on the offensive line. Brian Bulaga, I've got him clocked at 80 strength, 86 awareness. He's going to be more utilized in pass blocking, which is great. That's what I want to run mainly for my offense, and then run block maybe a little bit lackluster, but still a really nice card. Chargers fans really not used to having an elite tackle or an elite offensive lineman at all at the beginning of the season, so not bad at all. Let's take a look at our next item here. Going on to the defensive side of the ball, Casey Hayward Jr. Now, honestly, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I think Casey Hayward in all facets of the NFL, his exposure, I think he gets docked quite a bit. I think they don't give him the love that he deserves for what he does at the cornerback position. I think he's definitely one of those better standout defensive backs in the NFL, and I think I wanted to reflect that in his core elite item for Madden 21. 81 speed, so I mean the stats, again, this is the beginning of the game. 81 speed is going to get the job done just fine, but where he's going to excel is his coverage stats, 84 man, 81 zone, and 82 press. That's going to look pretty good at the beginning of Madden 21, so I think 84 overall for Casey Hayward is more than fair, and honestly guys, I'd like to see any other team with a better defensive backcourt than the Chargers in Madden 21 for the 2020 NFL season. Alright, so Casey Hayward, a stud, probably our best, maybe one of our best cornerbacks on the team next season. Well, he's going to be tied, I should say. 84 overall, Chris Harris Jr. You guys cannot forget, the Chargers had some awesome offseason acquisitions. One of them being, in my opinion, the best cornerback in the offseason, Chris Harris Jr. I was super, super excited when we picked him up. I honestly didn't think that we would get him because we already have a slot cornerback in Desmond King, who's very, very good. But they've got a plan out there in LA. So bringing Casey Hayward in just adds more depth to the Chargers defensive back core for Madden Ultimate Team. 82 speed, 81 excel, 88 agility. That's the big thing I've always noticed on Casey Hayward is his agility. And agility is a pretty important stat. It's going to allow him to break on the ball a little bit faster, come up with those interceptions and swatted balls and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. It's going to be really exciting to have Casey Hayward Jr. and Chris Harris Jr. on the same team next year. He excels in man coverage. Maybe needs a little bit of help in zone, but his press is pretty solid too for a base elite, or I should say core elite in Madden 21. Next up, Derwin James. Now, Derwin James... He's going to be one of the best core elites in Madden 21 at launch, dude. He's going to be so, so good. I think last season, honestly, he only had an 81 overall elite. And I was like, nah, dude, Derwin James, really? Possibly one of the best players on the Chargers, period. Possibly, you know, the best safety in the NFL, period. He's got to be at least an 85 overall. 6'2", which... I think he's 6'3", but they listed him as 6'2" last year, so you never know. 85 speed, 87 acceleration, 76 man, 75 zone, 85 hit power. Yeah, I mean, he's going to need a little bit of help in his coverage stats, but as soon as he gets like a low 90, he's going to be able to hit those thresholds, which we don't know what they are yet. He's going to be an absolute must-cop at the beginning of the season. If you want the best strong safety, if you want one of the best users in the game, it's going to be Derwin James. And honestly, huge shout-out to Chargers Swap on Twitter for providing the Chargers jersey swap for Derwin James and the new unis. That looks absolutely fire. Cannot wait to see the Chargers card art as the season goes on. Next up, we got Desmond King. Now, Desmond King last year was an 81 overall in Madden 20. He did have a bit of a down year for his career, but he's still one of the best slot corners in the game. There is talk that he may be moving to safety, so who knows? We might see a Desmond King card with a secondary position of cornerback and safety, and that would be more of your free safeties, what they're talking about moving him to. But honestly, not bad, but not terrible. And I would say maybe not great because of his speed. 78 speed, 80 acceleration, 84 agility, which isn't bad, but he also needs help in coverage. But it's a low 80 overall, okay? So, like, I think 80 overall is pretty fair for Desmond King. I don't think that he regressed so much that he goes back into the golds, but I think an 80 overall. And honestly, the Chargers defensive backs, I mean, we have them kind of back-to-back here on this order. The Desmond King, Derwin James, Chris Harris, and Casey Hayward. Kind of disgusting, all of those defensive backs on one theme team. So I think if you're looking for the best defensive back core in Madden 21 at launch, it's definitely going to be the Chargers. Let's keep things moving along here, guys. We got Hunter Henry back to the offensive side of the ball. Hunter Henry did not get an elite card last year. Like, what? Why wouldn't Hunter Henry get an elite card? He's absolutely a top 5 tight end in the entire league. You could even argue for top 3. He's definitely a playmaker out there. I think he's going to be a huge part of our offense next season with Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert maybe even. And he's going to be a very, very good all-around tight end in Madden Ultimate Team once again. The big thing I love about Hunter Henry in MUT is that you want that combination of speed and run block. And I think Hunter Henry is like among like the top 3 tight ends in the game with some of the best run blocks. You see there, I have him at 77 run block at the start of the year. Right now in Madden Ultimate Team, I think he's got something like 85 or 87 run block on my theme team, which is absolutely insane. So 78 speed, which is pretty respectable at the tight end position. Catching traffic, and spec catch are all pretty good. Then route running is pretty good. So I think Hunter Henry's going to be one of those budget beasts at the beginning of the year. You know, only an 82 overall, but I think he'll be absolutely fantastic for anybody that both wants to run and receive with their tight end. Next up on the docket, we've got Joey Bosa. Oh my God, it's Joey Bosa. Dude, I mean, it's Joey Bosa, okay? Last year they gave him an 82 overall. I remember seeing that for the first time being like, what, dude, it's Joey. It's Joey Bosa, one of the best defensive ends in the game of football right now. He better at least get an 84 overall. 73 speed, which he's not known, you know, for his breakneck speed off the edge, but at the same time, I mean, take a look at that finesse move, dude. 88 finesse move, 80 power move, only 65 block shedding, but he's more of that speed rusher on the outside. So, I don't know, dude. I really like Joey Bosa. He's always year in and year out one of those guys that people, like, they underestimate him. They think, oh, you know, there's better defensive ends. No, dude, Joey Bosa, for me, every single year has been an absolute monster. Must own for the director day one. Next up, we got on the offensive side of the ball again, Keenan Allen, 84 overall. For the love of God, EA, please help us with some speed, okay? I put in the card art here. Keenan Allen 80 speed at 84 overall. Honestly, in my opinion, it was hard for me to put that number down because I think he deserves at least like 81 or 82 speed on an 84 overall card. He is not as slow as Mutt makes him out to be, okay? Either way, he's going to be a perfect slot receiver for your Madden Ultimate Team. 84 catch, 84 in traffic, 78 spec. You know, really good route running at that as well. So you can throw it down the middle. He can get smacked, you know, in the middle of the field and still come up with the catch. That's what he's always done. That's what he'll always be really good at. So love me some Keenan Allen, dude. 84 overall, the best wide receiver on the Chargers theme team. Next up on the defense side of the ball, Linval Joseph. Yes, another Chargers offseason acquisition. I absolutely love it, dude. The thing about Linval Joseph cards, though, is that people get off-put by his power and finesse move, okay? He's not much of a pass rusher, guys. 67 and 42 in the power and finesse is not great, but what this guy is an absolute beast at run stop. Take a look at that strength, 90 strength, and yes, that's accurate to what I think he could be if he gets an 82 overall card. 79 block shed. Yeah, he's going to be very, very difficult to run on. A hugely strategic move by the Chargers this offseason, picking up a defensive tackle that can stop the run. It's probably been the worst, like the biggest weakness on the Chargers defense for the last few years. Next up, we got Melvin Ingram, right end. We got the Joey Bosa and the Melvin Ingram both with the biceps, the guns up there, man. Pretty awesome. 73 speed, so very similar to Joey Bosa. I would say better block shed. You know, maybe not as good finesse move and not as good power move, but definitely some block shed on him. Maybe some better tackling too. So, I mean, you got that duo, dude. You talk about the Chargers defense, man. You got those DBs. You got those defensive ends screaming at you, and you also got Linval Joseph in the middle plugging up the run. I'm an absolutely huge fan of that, man. Next up is Mike Williams, 81 overall wide receiver. So Mike Williams last season I think was a 78 or 79 overall. I think it's time we give him an elite card. Make sure he gets that power-up item that comes along with it. I think he's going to be faster for his size. 83 speed on a 6'4 item is going to be fantastic. Decent catching, 80, 80, and 84 on the catching, and then decent route running at that as well. So I think Mike Williams, this is the year. This is the year that he becomes one of the fan favorites, especially at the beginning of the year at wide receiver for Madden Ultimate Team. Huge fan of Mike Williams. I really hope he gets an elite card next year. And then finally, I think this is the last card, Trey Turner, right guard. I said at the beginning of the video, we're going to have a pair of offensive linemen that are at least an elite card. And here they are, Trey Turner wrapping it up. 80 overall. He's definitely not as great as he was when he was like a, multiple-time Pro Bowler. But at the same time, he's still very, very good. Top, maybe 15 in his position or 15 on the offensive line period in the league. So, I mean, I'm really, really happy with Trey Turner being on the squad. That right side of the line is going to be so nasty. 81 strength, which is great. 83 awareness. Definitely more of a run blocking kind of guard, but definitely not bad as well. So, and then finally, I was thinking about doing more gold cards, but I decided against it because it's just a lot of work to do card art. I decided to just kind of take a look at what Tyrod Taylor would look like as a core gold on the squad. 74 overall is what I had him pegged at. 81 speed, definitely a scrambler, but his accuracies are really going to suffer, and that's where I kind of decided, let's go ahead and maybe hold off on the gold cards because they're really, really underwhelming, but at the same time, wanted to see what the Chargers, starting quarterback would look like coming up next season. So guys, in the comment section below, let me know which team should I do next. I want to do a whole bunch of teams as far as card art for my projected elites for every squad. Some, teams should have a lot of elites. Some other teams, maybe like the Dolphins, will only have a couple of elites. So maybe we'll squish the ones that only have a couple of elites together and then put the other teams that have a lot of elites, give them their own video. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been the Director. Let me know which cards you're most excited about for the Chargers to add to your squad in Madden 21 at the beginning of the game. And guys, thank you so much again for joining me. We'll see you next time. And as always, stay frosty.